for me, this issue is always, the reason I've always been opposed to the death penalty is it's just been about fairness. It's an impossible system to deliver equitably across the board. Senator Leibel, you mentioned a list of absolute monsters that should never, ever, ever be allowed to be in society or be free, or our good Senator Larson mentioned, make a decision on their own. I agree. But three of the biggest monsters on your list, they never got the needle in their arm. Bar Jonah is crazy, so we're not going to kill him. Manson, well, he got up, he did his crime before 72, and then we had a Supreme Court case, and then we reversed that, so he got commuted to life, so he's still living in a prison. And Dahmer, well, he got killed by another inmate. So the three of the worst guys that I can think of, I just named them, but they didn't get the death penalty. Here's another example. A woman in Missoula who basically executes a gentleman who owed her money because she was his dealer. And this gentleman owes her money. So she's going to send a message to all her other, customers, and she had the guy killed. 25 years of Montana women's prison. Now, two gentlemen down in Bozeman basically do the same thing. Not going to mention their skin color, but they're going to face the death penalty. That prosecutor felt that case was so severe that it met the bar, and he's going to pursue it. And it's his right to do so. But that's why it's not equitable. And I don't think, please forgive me if anyone thought that I was talking about skin color in that prosecutor's decision, because I know that gentleman, and I know him to be a good man, and I know that he's not like that, and I know that didn't have anything to do with his decision. But my point is from one county to another, just down the road, those towns are only 180 miles apart. But one case is 20 years in prison, and another case may result in these guys getting a needle in their arm, and that is final. That is final. And that's why we can't have it. That's why we should step up and end this policy, because it can't be delivered fairly. Now, I was really happy that this discussion didn't get into what's popular and what's right. But I will mention that too. And this is another thing. I try to always vote my district. 75% of the people in Silver Bow County think that the death penalty is an adequate system. And it's just one of those times where you got to stand up, and it takes a lot of courage to do so, and tell 75% of the people in your hometown that you got to stand up and disagree with them today. I need to educate the people in my district about this issue, because it's not right. And we can't do it fairly, we can't do it with equity, and we can't do it with justice. And I can't support a system that doesn't provide all of that for people. The justice system's not perfect, and people make mistakes. And some people I've heard say, I actually heard this once. It was from a good friend of mine. He said, well, I know a couple of people are going to fall through the cracks. A couple innocent people might get killed, but that's just collateral damage. I almost came unglued. I couldn't believe someone said that. The taking of another person's life that didn't do it. The accidental homicide on behalf of the state of a person who was wrongly convicted of a crime, that's just collateral damage. Some people say, well, I say it's murder. And I say that's the biggest injustice of all.